When you go back and you've seen now in the UK and in Australia these massive anti-immigration marches, and especially in the UK, it's always weird to me because they're always about, oh, we need to send them home. And I'm sat there and I'm going, but you gave my home away. You were the ones that gave my home away. You want me to go home. You don't want me to be here. But at the same time, you're supplying the weapons that destroys my home, so I can't go back home. You are supporting the ethnic cleansing of my people and my home. Where are we going to go as 2 million Gazans? Where are they going to go? And then when they do come to Europe after you've supported their ethnic cleansing, you're going to complain them coming over there after you've supported their displacement. To me, like, the levels of hypocrisy of the West and the levels in which the trauma has been inflicted in the Middle East, where they have redrawn the maps, where they were the ones that put in these monarchs in charge of these countries. They did the Balfour Declaration, where they've supplied the weapons. It was the French that supplied the Assad family, and that caused the civil war that only just ended. Or when Zionist militias in the 1940s in Palestine that ended up doing the Nakba and ethnically cleansing 750,000 Palestinians. And then you have the audacity for these people to march and talk about how Muslims or Arabs or these people from third world countries, we're the ones that are changing the demographic and ones that are causing this dispurity in the culture and changing the culture within these countries. And we're like, look, if we could go home, we would, but you steal our land, you take away all the resources, you make it an unlivable place for us. And then when we come over here, you tell us to go back home, or you tell us that we're not welcome. It's
that you're
hard.
anti-Semites.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Or
and
that.
we're Semitic. We're Semitic.
Exactly.
You know? I think one thing that I have to try and be is I have to try and look into the humanity of people that say this. And I have to understand that it's coming from a place of ignorance first and foremost, rather than it being something where they are bad or evil people. It comes from not understanding who we are. It comes from not understanding your own history. You know, the reason why there's so many Pakistanis and Indians in the UK is because you brought them over after the Second World War to fill up the factories, to work, to rebuild your economy. After hundreds of thousands of them died defending the British and fighting off the Nazis, they look at these Muslims and they talk about how, you know, these people coming over here and bringing their religion and this, that, and after you impose, you know, monarchs restrict from practicing their religion in their own countries, while you supply weapons and you go on illegal wars and kill 1 million of them in Iraq, while supplying the weapons and political cover for a genocide in Gaza, when you bomb Yemen, a stage where, especially now with social media and information being very present, people now are beginning to actually realize and learn the history of what's going on. And they're watching Gaza and they're saying that, like, there is no genocide going on here. And people are watching the same images coming out on screen and going, how are you saying that they're being killed, that kids aren't being targeted, when we're seeing it with our own eyes? And that's made people really take a step back and actually question everything that they've learned of our democratic liberal values. Are we even here in the United States? When was the last time we got to pick a Democratic nominee?